he had said like, I want to do a coach player thing, and I was really excited about it because I kind of do want to have like boys will be boys sex.
Yeah.
It was like explicitly like, I'm the coach, you're the player. It was set up. We knew what was happening. So we go out and have a couple drinks, and then we get in the car on the way back to my hotel, and he goes to me, "You did really good in practice today." and I go in my head, I get excited because I'm like, "Oh, we're going." Okay.
No.
I get excited. So I go, "Thanks. Things have just been really hard at home." And he goes, I see some like flash in his eye, like, "Okay." He goes, "Why?"
So, this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is bad.
To drag out horse.
No. Have you ever tried to branch out? And how do you try? What do you go like?
Like,
hey,
you
guys.
mean like try to do some like straight humor?
Yeah, like I also love Sabrina Carpenter's tits.
I actually love her. We actually
Wait, was that reference accurate?
No, I've never heard anyone talk about Sabrina Carpenter's tits, but I think people are talking about her.
I thought it was
for
a
sure.
straight person.
People talk about her a lot. I just don't know if straight guys are like, man, her tits, because I don't think there's like. I think even straight guys would have to. The rack would have to be like really.
Jimmy, who am I thinking of?
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
Sydney Sweeney.
of course.
That's who I meant.
Bowen and I actually went on at length about Sydney Sweeney's tits one time because you know who loves Sydney Sweeney's tits and jokes about them?
Middle
Sydney
schoolers.
Sweeney.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
She wants people to joke about it.
Yeah. I don't really have an asset that I'm like, God, I wish everybody else is talking about
Well,
it.
you got to stand up and twirl.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
We have to
Dance?
tell you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you meant on you.
Yeah. I thought you meant that I should start dancing. And it is so fucking hot in here, and I
Yeah.
wish I was wearing that.
What I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Can we turn the air on?
I asked Jimmy to do that, but
I don't know if he heard you.
I don't think he heard me. Yeah, I don't
Sometimes
know like
'cause
pop
Jimmy's
culture references or anything. So
Well,
that's just an update on me.
Sabrina Carpenter certainly has tits. I
Oh.
just don't think that. I don't think that the straight guys are talking about them.
Do you feel like you guys have to be a little bit more careful now with the podcast when you're coming for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I remember you guys said something that you were like, yeah, sorry, we're not going to be ripping Anna Kendrick limb from limb anymore.
Well,
Okay?
yeah, I mean, because I used to legitimately rip Anna Kendrick
I
limb
know.
from limb.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'll just keep my thoughts to myself.
Yeah,
Because
because it all
sometimes
gets back
you
to
like,
them.
yeah, I've met a couple people that I know
And you know that they heard?
it's not that I think they've heard, but it's just like, also when you do a podcast for, I guess, what is it, 9 years, it's going to be a thing where it's like, you said something. You said something that's not great about probably everyone, especially when it's about pop culture.
Yeah.
Because we're like full of references about them, and I'm just like, oh, because even shit, if I don't even believe anymore, it's like I said, what about who? Oh, I like them.
Sometimes if people just bring someone up and you're like, I'm bored, I'm just going to have an opinion and just throw someone under the bus.
Yeah. But honestly, whatever.
I frequently have to be like, I don't stand by anything I say.
No, yeah.
We always say this podcast is
It's what I said in the moment.
I will forget everything we said here today. I've just recorded our own podcast. I forget everything I said.
Yeah.
It's important.
We say this podcast. This podcast is the most honest, raw thing you could ever listen to, and almost everything we say is a lie. and you could be mad at us for saying something, and the next we'd be like, "Oh, we take it back. We'll take anything back."
Listen. If I said it, it's likely I didn't believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. A lot of it is like me trying to get a reaction out of Bowen or whoever the fuck is there.
I was just thinking about this the other day because there are certain straight guys that bring something out of me where it's like there are certain straight guys that bring something out of me where I want to impress them that if like I will throw almost anybody in the group under the bus just to make one person laugh, and I'm really trying to work on that.
And how?
Just like ripping other people in the group apart
To impress a straight guy?
or just like I guess I mean we're just not around gay guys in Austin comedy, and so it's always like a cool straight guy that I'm
You
like,
guys like the only gay guys you both know?
Yeah, I know other ones, but I see them like maybe once every 2 months.
yeah, there's not it's not
Gay comics.
gay comics. Yeah.
Gay guys are around.
Oh yeah.
for sure.
But
Yeah,
are
for
they,
sure, for sure.
Are they to be
Are
trusted?
you on Grindr again?
I relapsed onto Grindr. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went on Grindr yesterday and it was popping off.
Yeah, there's hot guys here.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Are you Facebook?
Am I Facebook?
Face pick.
Oh, face pick.
Yeah.
I'm Facebook. Face pick. Facebook. I'm Facebook. I'm Facebook when you click the icon. When you see my icon, it's just torso.
Yeah.
I think. Let me look.
And then you click and it shows full pic.
I think so.
Okay,
was
that's classy.
But I wanted to lead with not my face.
Do you get a lot of people
But I'm
being like,
looking.
"You're scamming. You're not mad."
I've been
about
kicked
this?"
off before, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Kind of the dream.
yes.
The dream is to be kicked off of Grindr.
For people being
So
like,
this is my picture.
"Oh wow!"
And this was actually a really fucking good day. This is in Fire Island in my house where we have insane lighting, and I can't get my body to look like that
Ever
even
again?
If it's like I've still been working out every single day, but there was something about the lighting hitting this day.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with this picture, and it has to stay my Grindr photo
Of
forever.
course.
Mine is post cold plunge. I'm just
So you're like
Just
yoked.
shredded, yeah.
Good
And
for
I
you.
for a long time was just short shots.
short shots.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
bulge.
Bold shot.
like-
yeah.
What is it? Trap
Yeah.
baiting, gay baiting. Use gay baiting on
It's
Grindr.
not gay baiting. I think it's dick baiting.
Are you advertising as? Are you guys like lying when you're advertising, or are you like what are you guys looking for? On
Just
Well, I
click off
say
and
I'm
roll.
verse.
You say you're verse,
Yeah.
and you're a bottom.
Yeah.
Are you a verse bottom?
Well, I've topped.
You have been there.
Yeah.
It has
It's
been
like-
that time.
Yeah.
Am I a verse bottom if it's like 3 times a year?
Yeah.
No.
Got
Just
it.
because I cut hair doesn't make me a barber.
Yeah,
Right.
100%. It
Right,
was just
right,
the
right,
pandemic.
Yeah.
No, my thing is like I think I'm. How am I advertising? I would call myself verse only because, like, literally, what am I saying? Edit profile. It says I am verse. Okay, so
Okay, and to confirm, verse.
my thing is yeah,
Grindr
right.
tells me what I am.
Yeah.
No, 100%. But I would say literally what I am is if you are a top,
Uh-huh.
I'm a bottom. But if you're a bottom, I'm a top. If you're a verse, I'm a bottom. That's like
You're ready
Yeah.
to play the game.
You're like
I think so.
You're whole pleasing. You're a people pleaser with how you do it.
I'm a people pleaser.
like, please-
I get excited when someone's like,
knows who they are.
well, yeah, when someone knows who
Yeah.
they are.
When they're like, "I am a top," and you're like, "Great, decision's made."
Yeah. I think what excites me most is verse top. Because it means that they're like gonna top, but also they're gonna let me explore their asshole because I am like I'm like a bottom who loves eating ass.
Okay.
So I guess like
Did you ever get sick?
verse bottom. I have
Did
really bad actually.
I thought you meant sick of it. Do you ever get sick of
you
it?
ever get sick of the whole?
Never get sick of eating it. Like literally, like there was a week we went to Fire Island a couple years ago, and I like had this like jack, like I was like on one ready to go, and I hooked up with 4 guys in the first 4 days, and
Fun.
then the last 3 days I was violently ill, and
What
the
does
worst
ill
was
look
I
like,
didn't
symptoms?
know. Oh, it was like getting food poisoning. It was like
Uh-huh.
getting the worst food poisoning you could ever get, and I remember I couldn't pinpoint who it was.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, does it even matter?
No, it didn't matter at all. I wouldn't take any of them back.
Yeah.
But I was like I was like an ass eating like fiendish kick.
Was it drugs?
What do you mean? Was it drugs that
Because
got
I'll
me to eat the
I'll
ass?
eat ass if I'm doing cocaine, but I'm like 4 years sober now. So
Oh, but you
What
won't
did
eat
you
ass
say?
if you don't do drugs.
that's so true.
You just say you're 4 years sober.
How many years am I sober?
I would say you're about a month sober.
Wait, not from cocaine.
Oh, from cocaine. Okay, yeah. I was like, wait.
Did
that's
you have
crazy.
so you are sober entirely?
Yes,
Okay.
kind of. For
Yeah.
a month. But 3 years, 4
Gotcha.
years
From yeah.
from cocaine.
Was cocaine a big trouble?
It just made me, yes, it
Yeah,
was a
big
trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it got you out here on the streets eating ass.
I love that I started like,
You started
no,
to be
I
like,
mean,
well-
I just, you know what? I decided one day was to stop and I needed to check myself
yeah,
into
yeah.
rehab.
Yeah, but also the drug thing is so
unwillingly.
real because sometimes if I take Adderall too much, I will hook up with a lot of guys in 1 week, and then I go like, oh my god, what happened?
You know where I become the horniest person in America? You can't stop me. Vegas. Vegas is like
Depends on where in Vegas, because we were just on downtown Vegas and you're
It
not
was-
going to be horny there.
I was
No,
I was so
probably not.
horny, and I was like walking around the casino, being like, "Is there someone's dick I can suck in here?" Like I was just, and it was just like straight guys who'd like never like seen happiness in their entire life, and I was like, "There's got to be one that's been like separated from his friends." I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing about Vegas, and this is what I think it is they pump those casinos so full of oxygen
Uh-huh.
that everyone's blood is pumping, and that's why everyone's so horny.
Grindr was like dead.
I
when we were
also
there.
feel like it's like a place that's like, I'm going to go do something there. Something better happen.
Yeah, well, you're all fucked up, and I'm telling you, there's something to the fact that, like, you got so much energy because of all that stuff
Oxygen.
they pump into the
Are you
casinos.
when you're saying Vegas though? What casino are you standing in where you're like, I'm horny?
Where's the one I've been?
Because we were at the Golden Nugget, and that's not where
No,
you were.
And
no,
we were
you're
there
not
for
gonna be horny there.
Skankfest, so we were like really not the company you're trying to keep. You know?
So I went to go see Katy Perry on my birthday like a couple years ago.
We did it differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But no, I go there and because then you end up at Piranha, which actually is a great gay institution.
I asked the lady where I should go, and she goes, "You can go to the Fruit Loop." And I was like, "Okay."
She was dragging. Your
Yeah, I was
ass.
like, "Oh, okay, great, thanks." Okay.
No, I think it's called that.
I know, but it was homophobic to say it.
Oh, you mean the Fruit Loop, like that street of gay bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was trying to help.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's like
dragging.
saying Boys Town in Chicago. It's like maybe they used to be like.
Well, me oh my. Like, how dare you? It's like they tell you a gay guy to go to Chelsea. You're like, that's a slur.
I get.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Also, there doesn't seem to be a gay part in New York anymore. Is that accurate?
It's all gay.
It's
now.
all gay.
Well,
now.
not now.
What about
It's
Hell's
kind of all
Kitchen?
gay.
I thought that's like a big
Hell's
thing.
Kitchen's very gay, but it's also very straight. I mean, like the only like explicitly straight part of New York is Murray Hill, where I wouldn't be caught dead hanging out there.
Don't know where that is.
It's like Chelsea, but on the east side. It's like that's like the 20s, I guess, the 20s and 30s of streets, but on the east side.
Uh-huh.
That's like it's like date rape central for straight people. Yeah. it's
Oh
not
my
good.
God.
Yeah, it's very bridge and tunnel.
Very straight.
Yeah.
I love how you say
Very
straight.
straight,
but it's
very
like
date rape.
date.
That's what I associate with being straight.
Yeah,
Date
yes.
rape.
Danger.
Yeah. But that being said, to answer your question, do I try to impress straight men? Yes.
Okay.
What I say all the time is I call them brother. Like absolutely brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
And
is
it
that
horns
the-
me up. I'm actually rock hard now.
Yeah.
And are they impressed?
Yeah.
I think I'm really good at code switching.
Uh-huh.
As I'm
Wait,
sure we've all
I
had
want to
be.
hear. I want to hear it again. Can you? Because I feel like you're
What do you
not.
wanna hear,
is-
brother?
Sorry.
You're not hearing. I'm not hearing like a Hulk Hogan. Hey, brother, how you doing?
No, I'm not dropping all the way into Hogan. No, definitely like we'll throw a brother in there and like you know,
Okay, that was good.
Yeah, brother.
I throw a buddy in there sometimes when I'm at the grocery store and
It's
at the
condescending,
mechanic.
though.
Is condescending?
Brother's okay. Condescending is buddy.
Buddy,
Buddy
so,
is
yeah.
kind of
You know what's-
well, buddy is such a gay thing. Like, there's a guy in my life that is canonically, mythologically known as Big Bro, who fucked me on Fire Island, and it was the best sex I'd ever had. And then we had sex again this year, and it was even better. And he calls me buddy. And the reason why I call him Big Bro is because when he was fucking me, he said, "You like that, lil bro?" And I shot a load that has not come down from this guy. I swear to God, I came so hard it went up, it never came down.
Is he older too?
He's a few years older than
That's
me,
all that
yeah.
matters.
He's great.
Yeah, I was talking to this guy who wanted to be called daddy, and I was like, yeah, this is good. And then he said that he was dating his son, and he actually said son. And then I was
See,
like,
that's right. The
and
wires
then I
get
was like,
crossed.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about this
Yeah.
sibling plays. I was like, oh, you guys aren't siblings. You're like started explaining that it
We don't need
is
the family
fun.
tree, Dad.
Yeah.
That's so
And I was
funny.
like, yeah, I don't know if he's like, no, I'll teach him how to fuck you. He's like, wait, what? I was like, this is too much. I don't need a lesson. Like,
Yeah, it's just like daddy should just be thrown away as like fun, but you shouldn't be like role playing. Like, hey,
Yeah.
where's mom? This shouldn't be happening. Like, we're in a lot
Well,
of trouble.
okay.
Please don't tell the police.
yeah.
This actually happened. So I was talking to this guy. This guy I used to fuck occasionally in LA, and then the pandemic happened. He moved away, and then now he's living in Chicago. We hooked up again, and beforehand he had said to me, you know, I really want to do a role play thing where I'm a coach and you're a player. And I was like, great, I love this. I want to do it because
Did he tell you what sport?
I don't think it was made explicitly clear, but in my mind it was like baseball.
Not cross country.
No.
Okay.
Because cross country coaches don't really have like that sort of like you don't get that same sort of like patriarchal like hetero thing there because it's the people that do it are too kind.
Oh,
Well, also
they
they're not
believe
like,
in you too much.
Yeah,
Coaches like
exactly.
can berate you.
It's too motivational. Like
Yeah.
get out there and run. Like I want like
Also, the cross country is just you. It's like
Exactly.
you, like
Yeah.
the whole.
You're not
thing
letting anybody
You're
down
letting the whole
if you
team
fail.
down. It's like you're in trouble because you
100%.
ruined the whole game.
And it's
Yeah.
not like, okay, now just you in the shower. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah,
where's
yeah,
the rest
It's like
of
I
the
must be in trouble. It's not just the team getting in trouble. It's me. Ugh. But he had said like I want to do a coach player thing, and I was really excited about it because I kind of do want to have like boys will be boys sex.
Yeah.
Like it's something I don't really have in my life very much. Like all my sex is very like intimate and like romantic, and even with the fuck buddies I have, it ends up just being like more on the passionate, like real side, and less like.
Sorry, you just told us a story of Fire Island, so I am like sometimes.
Oh well, even that was like I kind of like make husbands in Fire Island. That's what all my housemates always say. Like, oh, Matt has a new husband today.
Yeah.
It's like we're holding hands, looking at each other's eyes, and then I eat ass on the beach, and we all come down to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But with this situation, it was like explicitly like. I'm the coach, you're the player. It was set up. We knew what was happening. So we go out and have a couple drinks, and then we get in the car on the way back to my hotel, and he goes to me, you did really good in practice today. and I go in my head, I get excited because I'm like, oh, we're going. Okay.
No.
I get excited. So I go, thanks. Things have just been really hard at home. And he goes, I see some like flash in his eye, like, okay. He goes, why? And I'm like a trained improviser.
Yeah.
So I think this actually made it hotter to have like a little bit of like emotional stakes, like to know the relationship. I go, well, my dad's really hard on me and I really need a father figure. So I threw in some more stuff.
Yeah.
And he immediately goes, I'm going to stop. I actually think you're too good at improv. I was too good at improv to do the role play, so then we just went home and had like normal sex.
Hate that.
I know.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did he think it, like he just was like, I'm not there yet with my improv?
I think
like,
it was that, and also he was scared. Like I think he was like, oh, this is gonna become a loaded thing. I think he was just like, I think he just wanted to do like a solid 4 or 5 minutes of foreplay with us being the coach and the player, like, oh, who's my shortstop? You know what I mean?
You were like,
I wanted like the
your parents,
emotional
you're like, my
stakes.
parents are getting divorced.
Yeah, like, because I wanted a little bit like, I wanted it to be like real.
Did you have any like my dad's beating me, or did you have like my mom's not coming home?
I'm certain that there would have been something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, when I watch porn and it's like a scenario, I want it to feel like real.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's like, we all know it's fake. Do the fucking storyline.
Yeah.
You know, and when they're so quick to like jumping to sex, I'm like, you didn't even try to help him with his homework. You know what I mean? Like, it goes so fast.
But that makes sense why you're having more emotional sex if even in this role play you're creating like
I was
emotional
ready to have like
characters.
a relationship. I know. The truth is I probably just should get a boyfriend.
That's so. My problem with role play is sometimes after we come, they still want to keep it going. And we're
after we come, it's over.
That's
you're not
crazy.
a coach anymore.
That's
No.
That's crazy.
Right. Also, I would need to know why the player had a hotel room and the coach needed to stay at a
that's what we're getting into the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, is it a full James Cameron green screen situation where we're supposed to imagine that it's a world we're not in, or is this
Right.
actually a hotel room?
And then he starts like going through your suitcase, like, are you cheating on me?
Yeah, I know exactly. Like, whose stuff is this?
I want to know, did the Uber driver here? Was he like,
did.
what?
He did. And usually, I'm really shy about Uber drivers. Like,
Rating you?
no, I don't care about that. Like, it's because my rating is can't be beat, because I take a lot of like Ubers because. No, actually, no. I really don't take it. Well, I guess when I travel a lot, because I have been traveling a lot, I'm in a lot of Ubers, and I looked at my rating and I was like, good rating. I've done a great job. So I could have like a couple fucked up situations, and it wouldn't like nick me, I guess. But I just get really nervous about PDA, like, and I just gay PDA, even in New York, because like shit goes down, and also New York is.
Yeah, some straight man will
know.
kill you. Like, that's the thing. You forget.
It can't leave my mind that I am gay and therefore vulnerable when I do something like that on the street. If it's the nighttime, I love like a street makeout.
Yeah.
But in the daytime, when people are like trying to walk down the street, I'm like, they might kill you. But
to me, I just think that like the level of smut that I live in, that I'm like, they're grocery shopping. They don't.
But
need
you know
that.
what though? You think that like people are so used to the gay stuff, and then you look online, you're like, oh, they're not used to the gay stuff. Like some of these people are out here really not liking gay people.
My sister just watched I Believe It's Santa. She goes, I couldn't believe it. The actor was totally a fucking faggot. And I was like, oh yeah.
your sister just fully like locked and loaded the fag word.
She's my best friend.
The
So I
fag
do
word.
like her, but she will just like forget that
That you're gay,
no,
or that you could be offended by something.
that I could
like
be
that?
offended by something.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think she just freely uses the word faggot as a slur?
I think that she was like panicked and then like needed that stamp of like maybe, but it's funny because I said that.
I hate that shit. I hate is what? Come on, you know I don't mean it. It's like
I feel that I've gotten a little toughened up here in Austin because it is back in fashion for the straight people saying faggot. They're
really,
it is.
I moved here. I came here from Portland, but they are. Oh yeah, on stage, off stage, they are throwing out faggot.
And would you ever feel comfortable being like?
I'll
like,
shoot
hey,
them
stop.
No, I just shoot them a glance. And also, I am very much in the mindset of like, you can say it, I don't care. I'll never be close with you, and that's your punishment.
I also
because you'll never really know me.
I'll go. Oh,
you missed out.
You missed out. And I think so highly of myself that I go like, how sad for you. You just ruined your whole life.
I'll take it as a permission to be mean to them later.
Yeah.
And I'll go, and I'm just gonna embarrass them, and then we'll see.
Do you feel like it makes audiences uncomfortable or no?
Sometimes it makes them uncomfortable when I say it.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I will lock and load faggot on my podcast, and I don't care. And I really will get some of the most self-righteous gay people in the world, like commenting like reviews and stuff, being like, the use of the F word makes me feel small because they don't know what it's like to have it used against. It's like, how the fuck do you know that? I know exactly how it feels to have it used against me violently, actually, sir. And I will say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Yeah.
Within reason for me. And I believe using the word faggot is within reason for me. I don't believe it's within reason for a straight comedian in Austin. And I feel like I probably wouldn't have much of a problem being like, the fact that you need to do that means to me you don't have confidence in your act.
I like two things when people. I like when gay guys say faggot, and I love when the guys who are saying they're straight when I'm sucking their dick and they call me a faggot. And those are the two people who can say it.
I hate being called a faggot during
Me
sex.
too.
Really?
I don't like it. My ex-boyfriend did it, and
well, was he gay?
yeah.
So
see that I don't like.
So when the coach was your coach, did
Yeah.
you want him to be like, "It's okay, next time you'll bat good," or did you want him to be like, "You've never fucking bat good, you're bad"?
I wanted it to be like mentorship. I always want sex to be positive.
Same.
I always want sex to be positive and loving and like reinforcing and like good. I always want it to be a good experience. Like I had a situation once where someone I was dating like really tried to like be dom with me, and I'd never seen that look in his eyes before, and I was kind of like, what? And he could kind of tell during it that he didn't like it, and he was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's fine, I just like, you know, I care about you and etc. He was like, no, obviously I do too. And he said, I remember he said, I just don't want you to think I'm soft. And I was like, I mean, I like you soft if what you mean by soft is like you care about me and like want me to have a good time. Role play is one thing. Like being mean during sex is like a whole other thing. I don't get off on it.
Whoa.
He does.
I do.
Okay.
I really do. Not all the time, but every once in a while, and it has to be from specific people. Yeah.
They have to earn it. I do have to respect them a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're with your guy a long time though.
Yes. Since 2017.
Since 2017.
Yeah.
And you guys are like open?
Yes. Right now we're in a monogamous era because he got a boyfriend and I had to shut that shit down.
I see.
But he does want me to contextualize that he doesn't think he was a boyfriend.
Okay.
But it was a friends with benefits, and they saw each other, and they had a weekly time where they saw each other every single week.
And you felt like it was probably getting a little too close for comfort emotionally.
Yes.
Okay, well then you were right.
Yes. Thank you. I was right. I just didn't know, especially like in the new open dynamics, I'm like, I shouldn't be allowed to like control you, but it does feel like this is making distance for us. So like, I'll cut off my own dick so that both of us can work on this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's really good, I think. I mean, I think if it's not feeling good for you, it needs to change.
Yeah, I feel like it's I didn't want to like control him.
I hear you.
You know?
I mean, you never do want to. But the fact is you can't also suppress what you're feeling because then it's just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like if we're creating an atmosphere where the openness is leading to both of us becoming like more available, better versions of ourselves and happier versions of ourselves because we feel less constricted, but in the process we're tampering down our own emotions, then it's counterproductive.
Right. But if you're uncomfortable with it and your feelings come from trauma and there's a trauma response and you're like, actually, I'm not worried that you're close with Tony. His name is Tony, and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But
And we also have begged to stop talking about Tony on the podcast.
Who's begged you?
We can't clip anything up when he brings up Tony. So I go like, you gotta stop talking about Tony.
yeah, but it is like your feelings are a like basically imprint of your life, and
Yeah.
not all of them are accurate. Not all of them
Right.
are helpful. So like sometimes your feelings are like indicators, and they're wrong.
Gotcha.
Ooh, I don't know.
That's true.
That is true
You think so?
for sure. Yeah, sometimes your feelings are wrong.
Feelings are not facts.
Yes.
This is true, but also you can't ignore them. And I think it's like worth it for you to express like, I'm feeling this way. It may be something that is like my problem and I have to work out, but the fact that I am feeling this way and haven't yet worked it out means we have to look at it. And unfortunately, like in a relationship that is like the two of us in it, you have to be patient with me and help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do hate needing anybody, so that was hard.
I also
I've been married for how many years, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to need anybody.
I also think that
I
like
almost got a dog.
that's bad. We can't have it right now. But the marketing for gay men and open relationships is so well. Like everyone's like, gay men are so good at at open
No, we're
relationships,
not.
and it's like, yeah, exactly. But it's like nobody has these conversations about publicly being like, well, actually, there's phases and things are different, and everyone has different rules. I feel like everyone thinks that we're all just like fucking all the time.
No, it's because we care so much what everyone thinks that it's not hot to be like, I'm really struggling with my open relationship and I'm not one of the cool gays who's just like really fucking down to ride. I still can't relate to a lot of gay men that are like in relationships with people like flagrantly fucking other people, like, and like having really like amorous relationships with a ton of people. Like I'm all down for open relationships. I've been in pretty much every version of the relationships I've been in have been in some way open. But to say that they're comfortable and that they're just second nature to even gay people, I think is wrong.
Well, sorry, you have emotional sex a lot, so
Yeah.
that would be harder. Like, do you consider like were any of those poly?
None of them were poly, but I will say like
And
the
do you
fact
believe
that
in
I have
poly?
emotional sex makes me nervous about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I have emotional sex in that it's like everyone I fuck is like someone I think about. Like I just mean like the act of me fucking them feels like that. And then afterwards, like my post-nut clarity, I'm kind of just like, cool, yeah, that was fun. And like a minute ago, I thought I loved you, and now I've come, and I'm like, that was really fun with another hot gay guy. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's just that the sex I like to have in the act is like intimate and
You're making
like,
love to these
romantic.
people.
Yeah, kind of.
That's your role play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like the easiest way for me to get into it is to feel like I'm going to be really taken care of in all these ways.
Safe.
And then afterwards I can walk away and like, yeah.
Your role play is they care about me.
I mean, it's not that.
I love
no,
that.
Just call it what it is, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, like,
My role play is we had a connection.
You just like
yeah,
turn
I
into-
mean, like, that's kind of true though. 'Cause
yeah.
it's like,
Everyone you hook up with, you're just like Mandy Moore in A Walk to Remember. You're like, just promise me one thing.
I'll always
Yeah, yeah.
remember.
Just don't fall in love with me.
Yeah, I know. I need to say that to take clothes off.
Yeah.
The amount of times you bring that specific quote up is so funny. To me.
Well,
I love it so much.
it's really good.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It was a formative movie for me too.
Yeah, when she's singing in that red dress, I'm like, that's everything.
He's
for me.
also so fucking.
What
hot.
happened to him? Where is
Yeah,
he?
I think he's around.
Okay.
Okay. Watch when he's like been on like a procedural for
Yeah,
years.
like
He
CSI
seems like one
Miami.
of those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shane West. He was the lead of A Walk to Remember.
I don't know.
I will say with the open relationship stuff, I was laying in bed last night and I couldn't sleep, and something popped in my head. It was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a boyfriend someday, and he's gonna want to have a threesome. That's just not gonna work for me.
You don't like threesomes?
No, I think they're one of the most devastating experiences somebody can have.
Well, he's
But-
had. You've been in many.
Many
Okay.
bad threesomes.
Were you-
I've only ever been the guest star,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Same.
love it. If I'm in the threesome, I need them to be like, okay, you guys aren't allowed to touch. Okay, it's all
Yeah.
on me.
I've
Um,
done like threesomes with strangers.
A couple times. Okay, so this is not a flex. It's just something I enjoy. A couple times I've been like propositioned, like you are the person that me and my partner have wanted to have a threesome with, and that gets me off. And
Yeah.
I've done that many times. Not
That's-
many, like 3 or 4, but I've only had like 6 or 7 threesomes. And if you come up and you're like, we both want this with you,
Yeah.
it's on site. We can leave right now.
Would you be in a straight relationship too? Or
No.
Only
I
gay.
never want to have sex with a woman because I care about their experience.
We talk about that
we
all
talk
the
about
time. That we would probably be more interested in doing that, but we like think too much about the woman.
Ever since high school, I felt like that. I've never even wanted to put a woman in an experience sexually with me, even then, so that I could have it, because I just care about them and their enjoyment of things too much for me to like have some sort of ego moment where like I'm a guy and I get to have sex with a girl and check that off the list. Like that is not appealing to me at all.
Me neither. Not even once.
Colton had sex with over 50 women.
You've had sex with over 50 women?
Yeah, I
You have?
think what you just described, that the thing that you would never want to do, is what I did about 50 or more.
Did you
times.
enjoy it ever?
Yeah.
Are you bi?
We've
Don't
just
lie. Don't lie.
Because you do
Don't
give
lie.
bi.
I have said I was bi. They gave me a deadline to have sex with a woman. That deadline has passed, and so yes, I have to say no, I'm not bi.
Okay,
But
you're gay.
I
You're
could-
bi curious.
I guess it's been so long since I've been on the other side that I don't know that I could go back.
You're lapsed bi curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I was so closeted, and it does feel good. So it's like,
Yeah, but I don't know. I would get so in my head that I could not get hard for a woman.
well, a lot of straight guys do that.
Well, a lot of
That's
straight
so
guys are
true.
gay.
Honestly, and I guess Cialis is a hell of a drug.
Oh, maybe I'll just do Cialis.
What, to fuck women?
Fuck women. Yeah.
You can get it. It's pretty easy to get. I don't.
Well, no, my husband's 42. I could get it.
Oh, yeah.
I think anyone can get Blue Chew, right? You just go
It's
online.
at the gas station, right?
I don't know if that's safe though.
You can get it
Bluetooth is not
online. You
safe?
can. I mean,
I've never tried it. I've always been really curious. I want to know if it's like.
I have a
better.
theory that like not getting hard is really a straight culture thing. And I
Right, Matt?
maybe I am straight. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I don't know. The
The
degree
nervousness of a
anxiety, that's also sometimes I'm like, that's like, if it's like, I can feel like it's really easy for me to get hard for this person. Like that to me means like, okay, then go put yourself in the situation.
Yeah.
If it feels like it might be a thing, maybe it's just like, okay, well, Matt, maybe you're just not attracted to this person and you don't have to fuck them.
yeah.
Which is so different from me in my like late 20s, which was like, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I'm horny. Like you can be a horny person who's, get this, just not attracted to this person that you maybe ordinarily way back when would have wanted to fuck. Like you'd be hard if you really wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to.
And sometimes you're drunk.
Or I just bought him then.
Oh, I thought you said bought him.
No, never
Wait, I
paid
already
for
bought
sex
him.
either.
Already bought him.
Well, I already bought him.
That's
The
bad.
tag's still on.
Okay. I'm going to change topics, but I just remembered this and I thought that maybe you guys would have the same experience. Was there a person that you unknowingly, when did you come out?
19.
Okay. Was there a person in high school that you hated, but they were actually a good person and you just hated the way they made you feel?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So like a lot.
I think a lot of the straight guys, I just assumed that they like were looking at me a certain way or hated me or
Okay, no, this is different.
Okay.
You were attracted to that person, but you weren't acknowledging that, and so every time they were around, they're like, "This guy makes me feel weird." Fuck this guy.
I always really knew that I was the thing about my sexuality in terms of being gay is there was a moment when I was 11 that I explicitly remember where I was like, "Oh, I'm gay, like hard gay," and I am like a Kinsey 7 gay. Like I am very gay, like explicitly. There was no confusion or anything. I always knew the way I felt about anybody, and it was that I was like extremely horny for them or not.
Okay, so that moment at 11,
Yeah.
is it okay to say?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
So what it was I remember my friend came over, we were playing in my pool, and then I went upstairs like to go to bed later that night, and I was thinking about it. And I was like, man, I love my friend. I love that he came over. Like, I had such a good time. I love his back. Like, I want to rub my dick all over his back. Oh, my God, I'm gay. And then I remember sitting on my bed and looking out the window and just, like, it was, like, terror. I was like, and I remember literally, it's sad. But I was like, okay, well, I'll have to either keep this a secret forever or I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
It's a
sorry.
classic gay experience.
But, like, it was kind of just, like, because I'm from Long Island, which actually is sort of similar to Austin in many ways, where it's like there's like liberal people there, and it's like, you know, I don't know. It just gives me that like you don't really ever know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you might see a liberal person, but you talk to their mom, you're like, what's
yeah,
up?
what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember this was also 2001, so there was not like people you could look up to in the media.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, did you also think you maybe invented it as well?
I knew that it was. So no, I remember being like, I'm gay and it's bad.
I had the exact same experience. I'm from Massachusetts, and I was like, I'm gay, and being gay is the worst thing you can be.
It's the worst thing you could be. This is back in the day when like Eminem was saying faggot. Pop radio.
I just love that the year is 2001. You're like, literally the worst thing in the world.
No, yeah.
But people,
this is when gay was like the worst thing you could be called. I mean, like,
I think 2008 being gay was one of the worst things you could be.
It continued to be. I mean, I remember that. 2008. Like, I did a whole year at NYU closeted, which sucked because I could have been riding every dick in the city. Like, really, truly. Like, I wish I could, not that I have regrets, but like, if I could go back and just like empower myself sexually and just like be like, it's not a big deal. Like, you can have these experiences in college, because I really didn't have many. I like befriended a lot of straight comedy people. Bowen Yang was really my only gay friend in college because we were in the comedy groups together. He did the improv group and I was in the sketch group, and we each were like the gay there, and we didn't hook up with each other. I mean, we were just best friends, but we really spent a lot of our social time like with straight people, straight comedy people. And then it wasn't until I was in my mid to late 20s that I really went out and like discovered myself sexually and what I liked and who I was, and in that regard. Yeah. But it was a lot of repression even after I had come out. Like, in terms of like, I'm a gay person living in the world. Like, now I can say I like Kelly Clarkson, but I'm not being like, you know, I enjoy sex this way. Like, I didn't know.
It's more of a personality before it's a sexuality when you first come out.
Yeah, because I think that's like really common too. It's like you come out of the closet and everyone's like, that's great. That's great. You can be yourself. But you still have to come out with like your opinions, your, you know, preferences sexually, like your point of view. It's only then that you can even really discover who you are after you've admitted this thing. Because you can like, you know, it's like putting the bags down. And then, like, you know, your shoulders can drop and you're like, now let me focus on, like, decorating my house. Yeah. In a sense.
That
I don't know
makes
if
sense.
that metaphor, like, track.
Yeah.
I think it did.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the year 2001 where the towers hit and you're like, but I'm gay.
No, literally. It was like, I think, you know, probably some part of me was like,
happy that
at least there's
hit.
something else to focus on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like an 11-year-old mentality of like, woo, people are really like thinking about 9/11 right now and not whether I'm gay.
Well, then I walk
it's
weird.
like you think everyone's constantly thinking about it. Like every little move you make could give you away.
Yeah.
Well, did people think you were gay in high school? Because
I got called gay a lot.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I was a sports kid because my dad was also a varsity football and baseball coach. So that was another thing. I had like a sports dad. And
but you didn't choose his sport.
No, you know what's funny? Like, I actually asked him about this years later. I was like, why didn't... Because I played baseball for years, actually. I was quite good. But then I realized, like, on a whole game was speed. Like, I was always bunting and getting on base and stealing the bases. And I was like, I'm going to do track. Because then also you take off the... you don't have the burden of letting a team down in track. And I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
So I became, like, a full 3-season track athlete and did that. But I asked my dad, probably... 5-6 years ago now, like, why didn't you ever like take me in the backyard and throw the football around? And he kind of said, after some, like, I tried to pull out of him a little bit, and then he was like, you know what, to be honest with you, I really never thought kids needed to be playing. He admitted that he felt like it was too much, like
danger wise.
CTE. Yeah. I think he even as a varsity football coach for 40 years was able to say, like, I see what goes on. It's fucked up.
It's interesting. Sorry. 2 things I'm not allowed to bring up, but it's very short, I promise.
Say whatever you want.
The Israel-Palestine.
Oh,
Colton. My dad was a colonel in the army, and so I was like, "Are you going to invest in Lockheed?" And he was like, "No, I don't invest in warmongers." And I was like, it was the same thing where it's like, but our whole life you've been a warmonger,
Right.
and now you're not.
Right.
And so it is interesting to see that like
Yeah.
glimpse of self-doubt in this person that you've kind of built this framing around.
Yeah. Also, the fact is, like, those
Sorry,
men
I, like-
change a lot. They change a lot. Like my dad from when I was little,
Yeah.
where I thought I have to keep this a secret or else,
Yeah.
to who he is now,
Yeah.
like very supportive of me and very proud of me and very emotional
Yeah.
when I think he thinks about the ways in which maybe I remained closeted and was afraid of him for these things, I think really bother him. So, you know, especially as men get estrogen in their body as they get older, like they
Soften.
have brains just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Like they have consciences, they have guilt.
Also, I think it's watching our very masculine dads. My dad's like a Massachusetts roofer, and watching them be like,
Yeah.
and I seeing them with their friends and the way they talk and be like, well, I guess gay is like the worst thing you could be. But like then realizing that it's like, oh, maybe they're a little bit more, you know, multi-dimensional than
Yeah.
I originally had thought.
My dad all the time is like, fuck my friends.
Yeah.
My dad all the time, because my dad fucking hates Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like to the point where sometimes I have to suggest to him to turn the news off because I get worried about how upset he's getting watching it.
Uh-huh.
And also I feel bad for my mother who's like stressed because my dad gets stressed in front of the TV.
Yeah.
And it's like a wonderful problem to have because it's not the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, my dad, I can see now, like looks around at his like male friends who may have this like patriarchal like ideology, and it makes him very angry because I think he's seen that I've turned out well and that I'm someone that is well adjusted, and I think he feels very lied to about this myth that being gay was like for pussies,
Yeah.
because it's just not.
My dad hasn't come that far, but he did say, I got in a fight with Larry at our Bible group.
Oh yeah. Well, that's something.
Yeah, it is something. There is
Yeah.
movement, but yeah, yours seems like my dad also loves.
My dad
Trump.
was sitting at his bar recently, and some kid was complaining about his life or whatever, and my dad was just everyone's afraid of my dad at the bar, and
because he fights them.
he is a fighter, but
Are you from Western Mass?
yeah, I'm from the Berkshires.
Period.
And one town over, we used to swim next to Dorinda's house, and
Oh, wow.
Dorinda?
yeah,
It's a Real Housewives of New York
Oh, thank
reference.
you.
yeah, and this guy was complaining at the bar, being like, "Oh, my life's awful," or whatever, and he's like, "You don't know what awful is." He goes, "My son Dylan is a winner. He grew up in this town, gay. His life was awful.
Yep.
Okay, his life has been horrific." And he's like, and look at him now. Look him up on Instagram. He's doing pretty damn well. And look at you complaining.
Wait,
I was like,
he
Dad,
told you
that's-
the story?
I love that.
And by the way, he felt so. He goes, by the way, he goes, "You're a loser. You live at your parents' house." He goes, "My son was gay, and it's the worst thing you could be, and
Yep.
he's a winner." And I go,
Yep.
"That's not the words you should be using, but you really have it. You
I also
really have
think,
it."
like,
Hey guys, thank you so much for supporting our podcast by listening. If you'd like to support and make sure that we keep on making episodes, head over to our Patreon.
And that's a threat because can you close this up? We have bonus weekly episodes. We're doing watch-alongs with Queer as Folks and other TV shows that we all love, and you get early access to the Monday episode every single Friday, plus access to our Discord where everybody chats and shows pictures of their cock.
It's becoming a real community.
We are creating a universe.
No, and you guys are a part of it. Head over to patreon.com/some of this is bad. You guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Now
We-
enjoy the show, you fucking
fucking
pigs.
another thing that we don't really wrap our heads around when it comes to like the homophobia in those men at that time, they were so fucking afraid of AIDS.
Yeah.
Like the fact is, like, the reality that so many men are like if this happened now, we would all be gone.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, like it's something that we don't really realize is it's like, I remember when I came out to my dad, he received it and he was like, because the way I always said it was like, you know, I'm gay, right? That was like the easy way for me to
Yeah.
do it. And he sat there and he was like,
How old were you at that time?
19.
Okay.
And he goes, I do know that. And then he started to get upset. And then I was like, you know, it's okay. Like, I'm not sad about it anymore. Like, it's something I like about myself. And then he was like, you know, how he was receiving of it and he was good. And then he took a second and then he was like, can we go on a walk to walk the dog? And we went out to walk my dog. And he said, you just have to be so careful. And I said to him, I was like, I understand where this is coming from. I don't want you to reduce my identity down to that. But they were terrified of death because there was so much of it.
Well, not only that, but they were also like giving bad advice about it. Like they were saying,
Yes.
I'm not going to say who was in charge of the group that was saying all this information, but they said if you touch someone with AIDS, you can get that as well.
Yeah.
Wait. What's the group?
It's Fauci. Fauci told the whole world that if you touch someone with AIDS, you could also contract AIDS, even though there was absolutely no proof whatsoever.
There was a lot going on in terms of the misinformation and scare tactics.
You know.
Damn. Also, I'm so sorry. The reason I went like this is I needed to pause because I just remembered that your dad was a coach and then you had a coach thing earlier.
Oh,
Do you have any uncles?
I do have uncles.
And are they coaches too?
No.
See,
I mean, it might be a thing. It might be a daddy thing.
I don't know. Do you like feet?
Can I tell you something? I think I don't know how much I like feet.
What? Say more.
Like sometimes, like I never thought I was a foot person, but like sometimes guys do stuff with my feet, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Wait, but I think having a foot thing is being into other guys' feet.
Define something.
Like guys will like take my foot up and like, you know what I mean, and like kind of get into it and like.
But don't you?
I'll be like, oh, you're into that. Like it kind of makes me really horny, like naturally when someone is like, anytime anyone is like, I also like pits a lot. I've discovered that about myself. Like I hooked up with this guy in P-Town I had been wanting to hook up with for a really long time, and all of a sudden I kind of like blacked out during sex, like having fun, like I guess gooning. And I was like, taking like
a huge part of this podcast. Gooning is a huge part of this podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean, euphoria. And then I was realizing what I was doing, and I was taking like a very heavy hit of this guy's armpits, and he was like really into it, and I was like, cool.
Yeah, one of the guys I had the most sexual chemistry in my life with during sex, I was fucking him, I was topping him, and then all of a sudden I put his full foot in my mouth, and I was like, I'm not even into feet like that.
Well, the best is when there was a guy I was hooking up with during the pandemic.
Sorry, how far into your throat?
I think it was like his toes.
Was it a tiny or a big foot?
I'm sorry,
He was
in
like,
the
I
back
can't
of
even.
your-
This guy's like so high, with like wherever he is. I'd
Did
go.
his toe hit the back of your throat?
No, Colton. I didn't throat his foot.
Wait, is it a tiny foot or is it a big foot?
I think he was a big foot. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
During the pandemic, I started fucking a friend of mine casually for a couple of months, and it was funny because I put his foot in my mouth, and we both looked each other in the eyes and realized we didn't like it at the same time. And I went like,
That's great.
it was pretty funny. We joke about it now, but not in the moment.
Yeah.
yeah. It is the who's doing it though for sure. But I don't know. I don't necessarily like think it's particularly like body or even like role play. If you really like it, I probably do too.
Yeah, same.
I like to feel like a gift and a prize.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
like,
that.
Oh my
so
God, you are lucky I'm here.
Yeah. Do you like a lot of like verbal?
That's a new thing for me.
New?
Yeah, because I've always listened to porn with the sound off.
Why?
It's
I
mental.
was afraid of getting caught and different.
So does that make you horny to like listen to it with the sound off now because of the chance to get caught thing?
No, the getting caught thing is nothing for me.
Okay.
But then I had to like review what I was watching because kind of some of the things I've said it before, but like sometimes they'd be like, "Yeah, you're my real dad, right?" He's like, "I'm your father." And I'm like, "Well, that's what they were fucking saying." So
yeah, got it.
now I'm like full on like learning, the art of the words.
I like words,
Yeah,
but again, they have to be like positive. Like I don't like
do.
my fucking bitch, like da.
Da, da, da,
You
da.
keep looking-
You know what I mean? I can't even say them as a joke.
Yeah.
Like I can't even be like, oh god, like being called a faggot. I'll never forget it. Like looking me in the eyes, calling me a faggot, and I was just like, I like love you when you just call me a faggot.
To clarify, what I would say, I don't like doing that with like the fun hot gay guys, but I went through a period after I lost a bunch of weight where I was like, I'm just gonna be an absolute slut, and then just invited like the DL masculine guys over to my apartment that I was calling the suck shack, and I was just sucking their dick, and those guys I really got off on them calling me a faggot. I said, this is healing something from being from Massachusetts, but yeah, it's not an all the time thing.
Healing. You thought of it as healing at the time?
Yeah, all sexual stuff comes from trauma.
I don't think that's true.
I've heard people talk about it on podcasts.
What do you-
I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
What's your foot thing?
I don't have a foot thing. What I'm saying is it's like there is something with the foot thing. And I think maybe because I was always like, no way. And now all of a sudden it's like, I'm just saying, if someone, it's like you said.
Maybe it's the being in the closet, and now you're open to being wrong. So actually,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
novelty, the exploring of things you once thought were bad.
I'm certainly open to discovering things that I like now. You know what I mean? Like it's just so crazy. Like I used to be a completely different. It's weird. Like in my 30s, I never thought I would enjoy bottoming as much as I do. I never thought.
In your 30s?
In my 30s, I've become
Yeah.
the bottom that I am. In my 20s, I was a top exclusively. And like a dom top.
Dom top.
Dom top?
Dom
Scary,
top?
scary.
Say more.
Yeah.
Do you think your personality has switched between those two?
No, I think I've been the same person, but I think it's honestly just like.
Do you think it was a mental wall?
Yeah, certainly. I was always scared of shitting on a dick.
Yeah.
And I was always scared of pain.
Yeah.
And then I finally realized, like, oh, pain is just a part of it for a second. And then once you get over that, like, you're fine. And also there's, like, things you can do to mitigate or eliminate the risk of, shitting on a dick. And also, guess what? If it happens, it's actually not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
He's never bottomed, so I've been trying to.
You've never bottomed?
I never bottomed.
So I've been trying to give him this information with like, yeah, it's pretty fun.
I'm not. I've never doubted that it's fun, and I'm sure at some point I will do it.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
now
they
I've
have a bet going.
Well, now I've waited so long. Now I'm like, am I saving it for someone special? And also, I would like to be ripped before I do it.
I mean, listen, whatever is going to put you in the best position to be able to do it, because it is like an intimate, vulnerable, difficult thing, especially when it's first happening. Like, you're not going to like it at first.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Have
for
you
being
even
honest.
tried?
No.
So you're
I gave
not
him
going
a
to
butt
like
plug
it for
that's
a
like
while.
this big.
Yeah, and that's nothing.
No. Yeah, and I did use it one time, and I thought, okay, that's nice.
They have a bet going that Taylor Swift and Travis Casey,
Travis Kelce?
thank you, half right,
Yeah.
are going to break up within a month.
No, a year. A
Oh,
year.
okay.
I told her about that, and then she's like, "That's fucked." And I was
How
like,
does this relate to butt
And
stuff?
whoever, so he thinks it's going to be less than a year. He thinks it's going to be more than a year.
No.
Oh.
I said just to be clear.
Jimmy Straight, married to a woman, said he's gonna not get butt fucked, but
"No, I'm not gonna get butt fucked."
You'll let
Let's
her stick a finger in?
No, I'll wear or I'll put in a butt plug for the pod, for the Patreon,
For the duration of the whole
for the
pod?
duration of one Patreon episode.
right?
I hope you win.
And just to be clear, the
Why
bet
me?
is
He has to do it
the
too.
bet is he goes they will be broken up within a year, and I said they will be engaged in a year.
I think you're right.
I agree. I think this is her man, and I
would agree.
I've never seen anything more invisible string in my entire life.
Well, I'll say it's
Invisible
gonna
string.
it's gonna be on the Patreon. So what regardless of what happens, sign up for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a Patreon thing.
yeah.
You can't just be once like
It's funny. I've definitely had butt plugs on here on regular episodes.
Well,
I
now
get
you know
mad.
every
you've had butt
episode.
plugs in.
Yeah, because again, you can mitigate the shitting on dick, but you can also mitigate pain. And there was this guy that had a huge dick, and I was like, I'm gonna have to stretch out for that.
And so you were just like, let me sit for a few hours with it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've
And
been
I asked
running-
him not to. I said this podcast. Is
Because then you
comedy.
would have the knowledge the whole time, like he's sitting there with.
Well, yeah, he
something.
doesn't tell us, which is good.
I tell him about halfway through.
Yeah, and then we go like leave your kink at home.
Yeah, they're sick. They're sick fucks. But this episode's coming out December 23rd. You're the prince of
Christmas.
Christmas.
Anal sex.
Is there any specific like Christmas tradition that you've kept, maybe that you grew up with that you're like, actually, I'm gonna keep that? We ate shark growing up.
You ate
and-
shark?
Yeah, it's sort of like a Russian tradition.
Wow.
And then I saw that that's really bad for the sharks and environment, so I stopped doing it.
I guess for Christmas. Well, can I say seafood is always a part of my Christmas too.
I think it's a Catholic thing.
I was also raised Catholic.
So was he.
We were
And
fake.
him.
Yeah, but we never did fish or anything.
We definitely. I feel like it's a thing, and I've really enjoyed that.
Are you Italian?
So I am like Greek
Okay.
/ all white,
You also
Okay.
like
grew up-
European, a bunch of.
But are you
European shit.
Greek Catholic?
So I was actually born and raised up until I was like 9 or 10 Greek Orthodox.
yeah.
So, why were you Russian Orthodox?
Right.
Oh, so are those like services all in Russian?
I had to go to a couple with what we called my loud bubby because you had to yell at her and then you had your bubby. But yeah.
So we had those masses, or I don't know what you would call them, the services were all in Greek, and like we couldn't fucking understand them. So then we moved to a new town, I remember, and like the closest church nearby was a Roman Catholic church, so we converted to Roman Catholicism just because. And I remember my dad was like, "It's basically the same."
Yeah.
And
which is the most Catholic thing of all time.
Exactly. And then I was like, confirmed Catholic, etc. But I always knew it was bullshit.
Same.
Yeah.
From the literal first second I walked in. And then they made me go to like catechism. I had to go to like Wednesday night, like
CCD.
extra class. Yeah, that. And I was just sitting there like, I'm not paying attention to fucking shit. Because you know what I also hated was the harrowing description of the amount of pain Jesus was in and the reminders of the crucifixion and all that. I'm like, this sucks. Like, I was like, I get it. Like, I understand I'm supposed to feel really bad and guilty.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, I'm already dealing with that.
Yeah.
Like, I hated it. And also the implicit homophobia.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you were going to say homoeroticism.
well, also all that. Like, I could tell some of those priests were gay.
Yeah.
I remember one
did,
came
though.
in during a retreat I had to go on and looked at us and said, "Are you children giddy?"
Oh.
And I was like, this guy is a fucking creep.
Giddy? I don't like that.
Are you giddy?
I don't
and I
like
was just
that.
like, leave me alone. I don't
Yeah.
trust any of you.
Yeah.
And I was right.
I got my first laugh in church.
You did?
And 100% because you know how you walk in with the holy water. Because I also walked in and I was like, this is bullshit. And I could tell my family didn't believe it either. But I was obsessed with Jennifer Lopez. And in one of her videos, she did the Dirty Dancing water thing.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that everybody was doing that was copying Jennifer Lopez. I didn't realize it was from Dirty Dancing. And so I took a bunch of the holy water and I poured it on myself as we walked in. And my whole family laughed. And I was like, laughter was hilarious. Amazing.
I,
There you go.
I don't know why, but that reminded me of my first laugh. I was 2.5. Couldn't read. We were at Burger King, and my sister was trying to bully me by saying that I didn't know what the trash can said. It said "thank you," and I said "kiss my ass." And she was like, "What? I'm gonna go tell mom." So she did. My mom came over, and I was like, "I think it was right," because like she went and did whatever. And I said, "Kiss my ass." And my whole family was like, "You're the best."
Honestly, that's good.
Yeah.
So we forgive them for, everything
They
else.
didn't know. They didn't know. They were just following the rules. Give it to them.
But in terms of Christmas traditions, no, I'm pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You give your gifts.
Are you doing a tree?
I don't do a tree because I
The
I'm
Prince
on the
of
road.
Christmas,
I'm
not
on
doing a
I'm the
tree.
Prince of Christmas. I'm really here to serve everyone else. No, but I don't do a tree. The pandemic, I did a tree, and that was nice.
Because I don't think Santa does a tree, so it makes sense that you don't do a tree.
Exactly. We don't do trees.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey came on our podcast, and I asked her when she decorates, and she's like, honestly, I wait. And I was like, wow, even you, the queen of Christmas.
Wait till what?
Was that like a
She waits till like mid to late November. I mean, like, I think it's like a post Thanksgiving thing. And there are some like true freaks who are like, once Halloween hits midnight, it's Christmas. Like, we're going straight through. It's the Christmas season. It's kind of wild.
Did you guys, just based on your podcast, do you feel like ever look back and be like, this is our podcast is like absolutely crazy. Like you
It's
went
insane.
from, I mean, like, cause I not to be a fangirl, but my one claim to fame is I found Lost Culture East when you guys had 4 episodes out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I had I think Joel was one of your first guests.
Yes, he was.
And I was searching his name and I found you guys and then became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then because you guys were talking about Kelly Clarkson and Mariah Carey and all these people, and now you've had all of them on. Are you like, does it even feel real?
It often is like, well, the funny thing about like the Christmas thing I do and the podcast is they both were like not supposed to. Like, that's why it's called Lost Culturistas. It's fucking stupid. Like, I made that name up in 2 seconds because we were doing a pop culture podcast. Like, we did not think the podcast was going to be a thing. This was for me and Bowen to do a fun thing. I remember I had like a thought like, oh, if I was going to do a podcast, I probably would want to do it with Bowen, but we're not going to do a podcast now. Podcasts are like over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought podcasts were over in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I remember saying that.
Yeah. And Bowen was like, hey, so we knew these guys, Joe and Alex from college. They had a company called Forever Dog, like a small production company they were starting where they were just going to like do some podcasts out of like Alex's apartment. And Bowen was like, they've asked me to do one. Do you want to do it with me? And we came up with Las Culturistas, like just stupid, just so we could have like a play date together like once a week. And Bowen and I just like they've always said, like, our friends in college and stuff were like, there's something special about you guys, like you guys should do explicit stuff together. And I was like, maybe this is our thing that we can do together, because we were having a hard time thinking of like a show to put up in New York or like a sketch show, whatever. I was like, let's do a podcast. And so then I remember, like, in the first few days, like, honestly, when you were listening, I remember looking at our like website that had our analytics, and it was like, I was freaking out like 10 or 11 episodes in when like 65 people were listening. I was like, Bo, this is like all of our friends plus like someone they told.
Yeah.
This is so
literally
cool.
and me. Like,
Yeah, no, I know. That's also very meaningful.
Wow,
Thank you for telling me
actually,
that.
65 number, I'm glad you said that, because he said that he's the first 100 people to watch Netflix on his phone. So
Yeah.
that's
I
very
really
important.
well
But it's funny that you said that, because I
had the opposite.
what?
Had
Yeah,
the
you
opposite.
did have the
Colton on our
opposite.
podcast, like we had like 1,000 listens in the first week, and he was like, "I'm humiliated."
No, I was so happy. Well, that's because you probably started it when? Like a
Like
couple
2
years ago?
Yeah.
So that's like when it's like now people starting a podcast, it's like if you're not huge immediately and you're with a production company or whatever, like they drop you. It's
Yeah.
not like as makeshift. And also every fucking one has one. Like these celebrities just kind of swoop in with their podcast and then they get big because they have fan bases already. Meanwhile, they're all horseshit at doing it.
Yeah.
Like these podcasts now that come out, which are like, I'm not going to drag anyone, but like XYZ recaps, whatever. It's cheap. It's
Those
like,
are so boring.
I get it. Like, but it's not interesting. You're not good at it.
Yeah.
People think it's easy to just hold space and hold the mic and be interesting, funny, exploratory, investigative, whatever it is for like an hour plus or even a half hour plus. It's not easy.
The way that I think about the older episodes was because I was listening to them. I had just started comedy in like Western Mass. I had no gay friends. I was only hanging out with all of my straight people, and so you guys were like my gay friends.
Okay, this is really cool.
But
that
I
you're
want to tell you,
sharing
because
that.
this is what I remember thinking. I mean, like this is like a light bulb moment. I was like, I did not realize that there were people who could sit around on a microphone all day and talk about Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
And I was like, that I didn't even realize that was something I could do. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize other people wanted to talk about her like that. And it like changed my life.
Literally all it is like you find someone that like you have an amazing rapport with and whatever, and you just find a way to translate that. I think that it's successful, if I could guess, for a few reasons, which is why it's like Bowen and I are like legitimately best friends and legitimately make each other laugh in special ways. I also think we have a really like amazing community of people that helped us like start it, like in terms of the guests we would have, like you mentioned Joel, like I've known like Iowa Debris for years, back when she was in the gutter with the rest of us. You know what I mean? Like what's been crazy is seeing some people from way back in the day like go on to their big careers. I mean, literally Bowen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild, but we didn't start it thinking like this podcast will be the thing. In fact, maybe if I knew the podcast would have been the thing without knowing what that meant and that it would be a good thing, I might have been scared and stopped it.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to be just like an actor and a comedian. I did not want to be a personality. I did not want to be someone that was like commenting on pop culture.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's a pretty tacky thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think that we
we don't do the pop culture, but we do gay sex, and we go, how have we done 2 years of gay sex?
because
every episode I'm like, okay, and so there I was sucking his cock, and I'm
no,
like,
but it's good. I mean, by the way, Las Culturistas is also that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I just think it's like, you know, it's not up to anyone like why it's successful. It's just people like to participate in the dynamics, which
Yeah.
is why, which is another reason why I think is because like, I don't know, I guess maybe like it's a glimpse into something.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think the only reason that this worked out at all is because I actually like want to hang out with you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
authentic
And
thing.
so
Yeah.
even if I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do, like what are we gonna go for a fucking hike? No, let's go record a podcast. That
Yeah.
feels like an easier thing to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like something that you guys would do together, so why not do it together?
Right.
You know what I mean?
We also knew each other like 1-2 weeks before we started.
yeah.
Oh, really?
And we
Yeah.
were like, oh, we have something.
He was chasing me
Monetize
around in
it.
the pool. I think I turned around. I was like, "Do you want to do a podcast?"
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Well, we only have 2 segments on the show.
Okay.
They're quick. The first segment is,
Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I do. Did you guys consider yourselves best friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't look at each other when you said it.
Well,
I look at
him.
each other and say,
Well, because we recently have been getting into fights about this.
who thinks that you're closer than?
No,
The
I
other.
think we are best friends.
Uh-huh.
I think I upset Colton last week because his sister is his best friend, and I said that people whose siblings are their best friends because nobody else likes them. And I also said I was his only best friend.
Hey, actually, I think you said you're my only friend, and then Jimmy said, "What? I'm here too." And he goes, "Oh, and Jimmy too."
But so where do you figure in? Like, are you all best friends?
Are we best friends? I think it's different. I don't even think like there are things that Colton and Dylan know that I don't tell my friends.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very different relationship. Like Dylan has a best friend named Nissa that I don't even think we would ever consider our relationship in the same world as. And you with your sister.
Right. I guess it's hard because he grew up in like the same house with same like
I still got my
city.
bitches from high school calling me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like those are my girls.
And I was an army
Get it.
brat, so I moved around all the time. So like all my friends basically I don't talk to except my siblings
Yeah.
and Dylan and Jimmy.
I think of them as like my best comedy friends, which
I thought you
other
were about
than
to
my
say
wife.
family.
Well, no, it's like you guys are definitely.
You like us
as-
better than some of your siblings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And other than my wife, I would say I'm closer to these two than anyone else.
Do you think the fact that they're gay helps you open up to them?
No,
No.
they're very mean.
Well, but they're very
Nothing to do with-
emotionally intelligent.
What
But they're emotionally intelligent. And do you think that maybe
are they?
Well, no, wait, Dylan is.
Dylan is.
you
I
don't
guess.
find yourself to be emotionally intelligent?
No, I'm more logical.
Dylan is.
That's not that's not a
No, I can figure out somebody's emotion based on logic, but not based on like empathy.
We all
And
have
he
blinders
has a
up
lot of
to a certain
empathy.
extent. Like Dylan is good at talking and listening to other people's problems, but once you bring
Sorry.
up his own, it's blinders immediately.
It's funny that you said listening. As soon as you said listening, I go, no, he's not.
No, if someone was going through something, Dylan would be able to be there to listen. But Dylan also likes to talk about himself, and
I don't know what you guys like to do when there's a microphone in your mouth, but I like to go, oh, what about me? Okay. Yeah, that's who I am. I go like, well, I know how I can relate to this. I'll tell a story about myself. But yeah, if someone called me and was saying I'm going through something, I'd be like, literally tell me everything. I can talk about it for 3 hours.
I will say if I had the choice of like who to do navigate this career world with, it would be these two 100%. I wouldn't want to do anything else with anyone else.
That's good.
I did think that I was going to do this career world solo until this came together.
Uh-huh.
That definitely is true.
It's more
Yeah,
fun.
it's so much.
So much more
Whenever
fun.
we're on the road,
Do you
we're
wish
like,
that you, like, are you good friends with your band?
I love my band. Well, my musical director was my ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, so and now our tour manager
Henry?
is his current boyfriend, and I adore them.
I love that.
Yeah, Henry and I lived together for 2.5 years in New York. He was my first boyfriend, and we broke up. Remained living together for 6 months because that's New York, baby. And then we had like sort
Same
of
bed?
a messy end. What?
Same bed?
Same bed. We're still
Wow,
hooking up sometimes.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was not.
Was it just because
clean.
you were poor?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, so my drummer is a straight guy married. My bassist is a straight guy out here trying to fuck.
In Austin?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys know any straight girls that you want to send to
Oh,
my
sorry.
show.
You said straight guy try to fuck, and I was like, does
No,
he
no,
like
no,
girls?
not fuck gay guys. Because I think I would have dibs on that.
Uh-huh.
It's my bassist. Let me fuck my own bassist.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know the rules. I didn't know if that was a power.
I just would like to fuck my own
imbalance.
bassist. Okay. But then no, Ethan and Henry, that's my tour manager, and my ex, are so like dear to me, and I love them very much. But it's interesting like how relationships change. I have always felt like if you date someone like and you're gay, like and it flops, like it doesn't always have to be a total like, because it's
Yeah.
hard to relate to each other as gay men. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't know like what it is before you explore that thing of like it's a little bit like horny at
I'm
first.
100% like I don't understand why anybody hates their ex. I'm like, you liked them enough for a reason.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
you can't.
There's just
forgive
too
and
many of
forget.
us to like not to like to hate them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's just you're gonna see them again.
It's also a
I
lot
now
of effort.
understand why it's. I have 3 exes. One is my best friend. One is Henry I was just talking about, and one is someone I can't have contact with anymore. So I do understand. But like
Drugs. Because I mean,
Matt's
Molly,
famous. You can't ask him these things.
'cause one of Chip's exes is like on meth sometimes, and will like find me on Scruff, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, sorry, Louisiana. I'm like, my bad.
it's not that. It's not that. It's just like a whole bunch of other fucking shit, which was. It's like that thing. It is one of those things.
Yeah.
And it's just healthier for me to not have that person in my life because it was the most intense relationship I've had.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess and I'm happy I know, but now if I ever meet someone and I have like intense, irrational feelings of attraction and I feel like I'm like, feeling carried away, like I know that's a red flag.
Why?
Because you start making decisions based on those feelings and less on what's
Good for you.
good for you.
Yeah, I had to cut off this boy from Mississippi recently. So
Yeah.
I get that.
You had to cut off a boy from Mississippi because you wanted to fuck him too bad.
They had crazy energy.
Yeah,
He also was one of the hottest guys I've ever seen in my entire life.
yeah, and he'd be like, Colton, I'd buy you a car.
Yeah.
Is that what you're into?
Money?
Yeah.
No, I mean like guys who talk like this.
I do like something about that.
Yeah.
It's like, because they have like manners. And
But he
like,
would also
no
just go over
man.
to your house and eat your ass. And
That's
leave.
true. And just be like, and then you'd like be like, we gotta stop. I like you too much. I'm like, what?
Oh my god, that's the dream though. Guys eating your ass and being like, I have to stop.
Yeah.
Come on.
And he's like,
So good.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Yo, was
Was
it
he
Forrest
just
Gump?
coming-
He
was
sounded a lot like Forrest Gump. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, do you know how to Texas two-step? He goes, no. It's kind of like a Mississippi two-step, but it's pretty same. So I'm like,
Horned up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Well,
What's the second segment?
the last segment? It's very famous.
Basically what this whole podcast is centered around.
Yeah.
You know, what we've been building up to this whole time.
Yeah.
Is if you were a gay man,
Uh-huh.
would you rather have sex with me or Dylan, and why?
You.
Okay.
Just because I've known him longer.
Of course.
Also, like, you have to know that, like, when we first met, this was years ago. I don't think so, honey.
Moon Tower?
Yeah, Moon Tower. Joel and Bowen were like, "Oh, Matt's not gonna be able to handle himself around." Colton." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" And then there you were, and I was like, "I understood what they were saying."
It's funny
Yeah.
because I feel like we had like a very brief exchange.
We
but
did
you
on
said-
in Close Friends.
Yeah.
We were a little horny in the DMs.
And he goes, well, I just want to let you know you're wearing
Wearing the fuck out of those pants.
yeah,
something
something
like
like chinos. You like make something. You're wearing chinos exactly right or something like that.
that.
And I
Yeah,
was like,
it's not that I don't have those
This-
feelings.
No.
And I don't want you to feel like
no,
I'm choosing him over you.
Honey, we do this every week. we do this every single week, and you know.
and you know what? That's actually one of the nicest.
That's one of the
ways it's ever
nicest ways
turned
it's ever worked out. Most people, their why is very hurtful.
I think that you are very attractive.
No.
And it's just there was like a history.
There's an
here,
energy.
and I did when we were exchanging DMs, I did scroll up, and I was like, oh, we've been like. It was especially because that was an era of the pandemic when I was just like on my phone, fucking,
Of course.
like gooning at my
Yeah.
own phone.
Yeah.
And you do post some insane photos.
Yeah.
Like you post some pictures that are like porn quality.
Yeah.
Well, he has an
Yeah.
OnlyFans now. So
You do?
Well,
What do you do on it?
I don't do anything on it.
Oh.
My husband asks me for pics or videos, and then I send them to him.
And he uploads them.
And so I don't know what's on there. And honestly, I'm not the one messaging you back. I'm sorry about that.
Is he doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you allow him to do that?
I don't want it's the people on OnlyFans will be like it like make you feel like you're not doing enough by like not shoving a giant dildo up your ass. Like,
Yeah.
should I be doing that? They really want it for like $50, and enough of them are asking. Maybe I should.
Okay.
And so I just didn't want that like energy of.
No, I
like,
think it's good if you trust him to broker your OnlyFans like in that way.
Well, people on the Discord are now saying that they want you to start posting ass pics in a new server for ass pics.
no.
And I'm
No,
like, yeah.
we're not.
I
We
don't
have a
think
Discord
so.
where they post pictures of their dicks and their asses.
Yeah.
All the people who listen to the podcast.
I
No.
recently had to get on my podcast and be like, because I received a very random DM from someone who I would sex with occasionally, and I did think was really hot, and like I was a little nervous because he has a huge fucking cock, and that does make me nervous. But he
Not after the butt plug. Do the butt plug thing.
Well, yeah, I know. That's honestly food for thought. But he sent me a video of him really kind of crazily fisting someone. And I couldn't believe he just sent me that without telling me what it was. It felt like a violation. And so now I'm like, I can't really with them sending me just any video, because now I'm like a little anxious about what's going to happen when I open it, because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like it was so, and again, like I said, I'm like a sweet guy who wants to have sweet sex, and it's like,
well, even on Grindr, sometimes they have like pics and they send you a full-on video of them fisting someone. You're like, so I thought we were gonna do like body, maybe dick. I didn't realize we were doing full-on sex acts in the videos. Okay?
It
I will
does make
say-
me think, like, can fisting ever be emotionally like, good
Yeah.
boy, like, good for you?
I'm sure for people that are both. Here's the thing, like if you say like, hey, I want to send you this type of video, can I? And I say yes.
Yeah.
That's consent, babe. Rip and rock.
Yeah.
Like I just can't. Like then it would be something I opted into. I did not opt into this. Anything that both people like or everyone involved in the situation likes, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to shame anyone or even close to it. But my thing is like, I have to know when it's something that's like that. And if you don't register that as being outside the norm and you're just popping off, you better be fucking careful, because you're going to really offend or really hurt someone. And that's when it gets too loose for me. And that's like when I'm like nervous about the DME consent of it all. Like I don't think I would just get in my, not that we like ripped and rocked in the DMs too much. We were just kind of just being flirty, but like, even that, like, I get really nervous now about looking stupid, that people aren't going to want that from me. But usually I feel like you're on someone's close friends, you have the idea that, like, some sort of invitation and conversation would be, like, in some way welcome. But
For me,
I don't do it anymore because I'm scared of people being like,
Oh,
Matt
anymore?
Rogers.
Two
you know what I mean?
people
Like,
on the dating-
anymore. What were you sending?
well, I was in the, that's what I'm saying, in the pandemic,
Yeah.
I was horny in the DMs. Now I'm kind of like, I just don't want to look stupid or like
Yeah.
presumptive or anything.
Of course.
I-
Literally 2 people were like, I know you from your podcast, and I was like, I'm done with the DMs.
Mm.
I will not be embarrassed.
I just have to pick and choose. You know, when you're not supposed to go to bed with your phone and you're not supposed to wake up and check all your emails.
Yeah.
I had to stop doing that for the same reason, because I also don't mind seeing something insane. I just need
Yeah.
it to be the right time of day.
I will
I
say,
don't. Hey, I need a shirt that says like, "Don't show me fisting until I have my coffee."
Until I have my coffee, literally. Because in the bright morning, like when I first wake up and I'm like the horniest, then I'll be shocked what happens to me. I'll have done like 3 hits of poppers before 9 a.m. like on my back, like fucking like gooning out and like rocketing, like jacking off 3 times with like guys from other states.
well, some of the like the gay sexting can get pretty creative too. We had a guest on here, our buddy Cam, who said that someone sent him a video of this guy laying an egg.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone that had put an egg up there.
He
and
put an
then,
egg
like,
up there and then he laid it and he's like, "Do you think that's
See,
cool?"
I don't want that.
I know.
I don't
None of
want
us,
that.
I know. Well,
I don't want that, but
But you'll watch it.
I'll watch it
See, were you an E-Bombs World kid?
a little bit.
Yeah,
A
so
little
as I was
bit.
like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate like fails. I
Yeah.
hate like
I don't mind.
I don't like
fails.
anything where anything's crazy.
I don't like horror movies, but I'll
Me
watch
neither.
somebody poop an egg.
I get it. I mean, because
'Cause
then it's
I
like at least
love
you
it.
saw it.
It's just like,
I'm literally gonna throw up thinking about 2 girls, 1 cup.
no, don't.
oh my god, it's
That's not real. It's not real.
It's to me.
It wasn't
it's-
real.
It's like
To me, it
it's
was
the
real.
perfect. It's
My
the,
gag reflex, it's real right now.
it's the perfect like character, like write a character off of this. So like my brain goes like, who is this? Why did they film it? When did they film it? What room are they
His name
in?
is
Yeah.
Henry.
Yeah, everything. Exactly.
You see, you're the type to do
I
more
look-
advanced role play like me.
Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
yes
yeah.
ends when you lay an egg.
I spent a lot of money at UCB. Amy
Me
Poehler,
too.
you're welcome.
Yeah, honestly, paying the rent over there just
Yeah.
so I could like start a conversation with someone from Chicago and they can stop it. I think you're too good at improv. Amy, you'd be so proud of me. Like you
Set the scene.
I'm so good I'm not fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
great.
thank you so much for doing the podcast.
I was happy to be
Thank you
here.
for doing it.
That's like so nice that you've been listening to it for that long.
Yeah, it was crazy. It really it was like having gay friends when in my small town when I didn't have it. It really the podcast meant a lot to me. And
That's
then,
the kind of thing that like really makes me emotional when people say stuff like that, because that's like I remember sometimes when you feel like, oh, why the fuck am I even doing this? It feels stupid. Like the fact that it wasn't.
oh no, I was like obsessed, and I also you guys created like a full universe with all of your friends as well. And then I actually have like a weird theory that I think you guys actually like. I don't know what's happening in New York, but like the culture is everyone finds out how to talk from you and your friends, and it becomes like absolutely psychotic. Like every wording and little things, like even sometimes I'll catch myself being like, "Say that," and I'm like, "You're doing Matt Rogers." it's humiliating.
If
like
you tell the wrong people that say that, it's Matt Rogers, they'll be like, fuck you.
But that's what I mean is like I would get everything from you guys. You know what I mean? So it meant a lot to me. And then I did I Don't Think So Honey live in Portland, and was insane.
That was a fun show.
I bombed, but I humiliated myself. But the person before me did I Don't Think So Honey, the one about the family stone and Luke's bulge, and it was like the best I Don't Think So Honey I've ever heard.
That was a good one. I remember that
I
one.
went right after her and just bombed.
I don't
What was
remember
your I Don't Think So
that.
Honey?
Thank
What was
God.
yours?
Well, I was like, well, I listened to the podcast, so I'm gonna
crush.
I'm gonna crush, and also I'll do the bucket. I'll do
Troll Bowl.
I'll do the
Oh,
troll
yeah,
bowl.
that was hard.
Yeah, and then I did the troll bowl, and I think it was like Sasha Obama.
Oh my God, it was.
It was Sasha Obama.
I used to make the troll bowl.
I
and
know
would
you
make
did.
It really
and
hard.
I was Sasha Obama, and I just remember being like, "You're not your mom." Like I was like, it was humiliating. All right, but do you want to plug anything?
That's a really good read of Sasha Obama, though. You're not your mom.
Yeah.
Like drag her.
Yeah, I know, but she's cool now.
Is she what?
You know, one time I saw literally going into a restaurant in LA, Malia fucking Obama.
Say hi.
Wait, Sasha is the older one?
Sasha's the older one. I
I
think.
saw Sasha Obama.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, she looked fucking
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She looked like Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, she
Like,
does.
and she was with a cool hot friend, just going to have like cocktails and oysters at L&E Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think she frequents it, but listen, she has security.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh my God. And like my one friend who's like the coolest would never do this goes, oh my God, a straight guy. And I was just like, not you being the weird one.
Yeah.
Like gagging over Sasha.
Yeah, was he excited that it was Sasha?
He
or
was
that
so
she was
excited.
that she was gorgeous.
I
now?
think both. I think both.
Yeah.
I think he was like, that's Sasha Obama. Wait, I'm hot for her. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm reacting to it in real time.
Also,
That's how I felt about Brett Favre.
Really? He is
Oh.
hot.
when she was smoking cigarettes, or
Oh, yeah. Well, just like her dad.
Love
her
it.
dad's a big smoker.
yeah, yeah.
I remember my dad being like, and he smoked cigarettes. I go, you smoked cigarettes? He goes, I quit.
Just another way to like,
Yeah.
wow. So all of a sudden Obama's doing like the quote unquote manlier thing, and that's a bad thing about him.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, but he's the leader of the free world. I'm just a colonel. I go, shut up. Dad."
That's so stupid.
We salute you, sir.
Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, I guess what I'll plug, because it comes out December 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
So my tour is over. So I have a show. I have a show coming out on Netflix. This is actually
Oh, that's
cool.
so exciting.
Yeah, so I'm on a show called No Good Deed with Lisa Kudrow, Ray Romano, Linda Cardellini, Luke Wilson, Dennis Leary. It's got a really
Oh
cool
my
cast.
God.
Abby Jacobson.
Do you have a Ray Romano impression or no?
Wah, wah.
Love it.
Oh, wait, sorry. That just reminded me of two things. One, my husband really wanted me to say that he saw you on Today, NBC Today or
Yeah.
something. He said you looked phenomenal.
Oh,
So
thanks.
check
Hugs.
mark. He doesn't listen, but yeah, I did it. And also, I watched the other two, and there was this favorite line that I had, and at the
Okay.
very end of the episode, it said that you were either the writer or one of the writers, and I
Okay.
just need to confirm this.
Okay.
My favorite line of the whole series was this kid. She wanted to go get this YouTuber, and he's like, "Go wash your hands for dinner." He goes, "Drag my hands, Daddy." Was that you?
It would depend. Honestly, I don't remember the episode that I was, I guess, like the most responsible for in terms of like I contributed a lot of stuff that I was told was then in the show. Was the Instagaze one where they go upstate and like they're
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
so Nooner and Breakfast. That was me. Where they call each other Nooner and Breakfast because one wakes up at noon every day and the
Yeah.
other calls breakfast. That was me, and I was really proud of that show.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's one of my top 10 favorite shows.
It's great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
So, this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is
To drag out horse.
No.